Okay, so I'm actually going to commentate a replay, I guess, of a game I played earlier today, which I found to be rather amusing. So, just so you show you, I'm literally just in Bronze League. Wait, that's not a bronze. That's not the color of the bronze. I'm in Silver League. Clearly, I can't even tell my colors. But anyway, this was an amusing match, and it's a clear reason why I really don't like playing against Bronze League. Did I not save it? No. I'm sure I must have. How do I look at my recently played? Wouldn't that be bad if I didn't save it? This one. That was not the right one. It was versus Terran, and I won it. Oh, I didn't realize I played more games after that. Okay, it was this one. Yep. Versus this Ray boy. Okay, so this one here versus Ray boy. Yeah. So this was a very strange game. So let's watch it. Very strange because clearly I didn't play very well, but that is not the point. The point was the cheese and not the strategy the Terran player works or tried to make work was kind of commendable, but to be honest, it was a pain in the rear end to actually play against. So anyway, spawning here in the bottom left is this Ray boy, and then up here is me. So basically, I didn't realize the eggs actually had weird things on the bottom. Anyway, so this is a standard opening for me. I don't actually know what this dude's doing. Apparently he's already building a supply depot. I'm not sure what those thrusters are doing either. Have y'all ever noticed that Terrans have these thrusters on their SCVs that don't really do anything? But anywho, he's using the original Command Center skin, which I believe I was as well. But the only difference here is that this one you can't really see when you go into Planetary Fortress mode. It's not really clear. And also, I find that the resolution is just a bit lower. I don't know. I don't like the Terran one anyway. I find the Protoss one I have not seen, but the Zerg one's actually kind of cute. But I kind of like the original Zerg one. Doesn't it look like there's a nose ring in there? But anyway. Yeah, so my opening was very typical, kind of what I tend to do. I try to do the opening made by a Loco, actually, that, I may as well minimize this, that was more that he suggested, that basically is kind of the Roach Ravager thing. Jeez. But anyway, so yeah, so basically what it is that 13, you build an Overlord, 14, and basically you're trying to get the gas done, second base, third base, max those out, and then send Roach and Ravagers around the 7-minute mark. His build is Terran walling off your naturals so that you can safely expand, I guess. I'm scouting with this Overlord here. So this Ollie the Overlord. Say hi to Ollie. See, they actually have a face there, eh? With 4 eyes, I think, on either side. I don't know how to rotate this. But anyway, I'm sending him to the natural because basically I want to see if they have the natural or not. Particularly with Zerg, knowing the timing of their natural is very critical. But anyway, I clearly lost this Overlord because I didn't expect to have Marines there, and by the time the slow-ass me responded, they were dead. Okay, so what is this? I noticed... I know it was here later, but... Okay, so he's building a bunker... there, for some reason? I guess that doesn't make much sense. Yeah, I had this one stationed here to kind of scout the entrance to my base, but as soon as poor Ollie died, I sent... Oscar the Overlord down to look at it. So anyway, back here at my base, I'm still just kind of doing the same build order. I am producing... I'm evolving Metabolic Boost here so that my Zerglings can actually move at a more acceptable pace. Apparently I didn't get that inject for a while, which is rather frustrating. And I've definitely oversaturated my main base. If I had noticed this, I could have taken one of those darn dudes and plopped it down here. But I didn't. So anyway, do you know these circles? I never used to realize what they were. They're sensor towers. So apparently, I mean, maybe that's the purpose. Maybe the reason Rayboy actually put this bunker here was to protect the sensor tower. Put 4 Marines in it too, but maybe he put it there to protect the sensor tower. The sensor tower is basically to scout all possible entrances to his base. Like, there's literally no way of getting there without it. So I guess it's not inherently bad. I'm just not sure. This feels like a lot of investment, but he's investing in information, so maybe that's useful. I feel like sending 1 Marine down to scout would have probably been a bit cheaper, but anywho. Yeah, so I have my Overlord back here. Oscar's here, sitting on top of this thing, just kind of scouting. Oh, look at his claws. But anywho, I'm still building. I decided to take my third, not the net like this one here, which some people would take, or this one over here. But instead I thought, okay, I want the rich gas. Fortunately, if I remember correctly, when I was supposed to do the 2 expand the gas, I didn't think about the fact that, oh yeah, you're taking the rich gas, which actually counts as 2, so you don't actually need both those geysers. But anyway, whatever. And I built my roach horn there. I kind of should have not. Like, I wanted to build it on top of the ramp. But, I didn't. So anyway, I guess it still kind of prevents people from running into the mineral line. So, what is wiggling? Look, there's something wiggling inside the roach warren. And I think these are like steps, so the roaches kind of come out. I don't know why, because technically they all come from the hive anyway, from the hive or hatchery, so. And actually, if you guys didn't know, these are Zerg. So in the lore, Zerg were discovered by the Xel'Naga as basically species that could kind of latch on to other entities and kind of modify or edit their DNA. So these little things here are actually what the Zerg, the Xel'Naga found are. And basically all these other creatures, queens, drones, Zerglings, whatever, are all actually entities that the Zerg basically took control of. And if you... It's really loud, those Marines. But apparently they got another Overlord. Yeah, Zerglings, I hopefully don't send those in because they're not going to do anything against a bunker full of ice. Send them in. Yeah, oh, maybe I don't. No, do I? I don't know. Are you going to commit or not? Anyway, apparently I am returning them home the dumbest way. But anyway, so basically the Xel'Naga created... Oh, I have 1 roach there. The Xel'Naga took them and basically directed them to harvest specific people, like not specific people, but specific races and entities for particular purposes. So that was what they did. And, yeah, so basically that's what the Zerg are. And all these other things are just basically entities' DNA that they modified, I guess, and I assume they then, wow, just a second, my main base is really oversaturated. But anyway, I think they're supposed to basically, because they took control of these things, they can replicate and copy and kind of mimic their DNA now. But I'm not sure. So, anyway, they've kind of walled... Back to the game for a minute. I've basically taken this base, but I didn't do it for the minerals, so I'm not really sure why I'm doing that. But anywho, I should have taken the gas right away, but I didn't. And we notice we're almost at the 7-minute mark, and I don't think I have very many roaches. I have 1 roach. So basically, I made an error here, clearly, which was I didn't build enough units. And, I mean, I should have had a lot more roaches at this point. So, yeah, and he has, what? 2 siege tanks, which are both at his natural, and 10 Marines, which are all in bunkers, and 26 FCVs. So I had basically double the amount of workers as him, but nothing... in terms of, oh, I'm just building more workers. I have an addiction to workers, apparently. I need more roaches, though. So 1 roach I have! Sitting right here beside the queen. Oh, look, there's 6. Anyway, back to production. So, yeah, I wanted to get these missile upgrades. This timing attack, it totally missed. But, anywho, yeah, so at this point, I'm like, oh, he has an air unit. I'm losing another Overlord, which is not going to supply cap me, but pretty near close. Actually, I guess it did exactly supply cap me, but it didn't put me over. And apparently I actually predicted that. So, anyway, yeah, so this Viking killed me. But I knew at that point he had at least 1 starboard and was building units. I didn't really think about the fact that he might be building battle cruisers. I should have thought, like, oh yeah, he's gonna do one of those battle cruiser openings, which I really, really hate. Yeah, so he took his third behind this, and at this point I believe I was already on 3 bases for a bit. So definitely my resource income was much higher than his. Control I. Yeah. Control N. Yeah, so my resources were already much higher than his. And I was having overlords across the map that were being killed by his one Viking, which to be honest is a pain in the ass, because look, uh-oh, supply blocked. But anyway, so this base here is kind of interesting, because he built it, put the drone, an SCV there, little buddy, and then never uses it. Okay, maybe he actually does, but he never used it when I saw. He upgraded to a planetary fortress. Oh, but anyway, at this point, here comes my army. So I'm gonna basically stop talking about lore things and focus on the fact that I'm attacking. Actually, maybe I'll rewind a bit. Is there a way of rewinding? I'm gonna rewind like a minute just to show you what I was doing. So, okay, so basically earlier when I said, a bit more. Okay, so basically, I think we're basically here. So I think that I finally realized, hey, these bases are basically saturated, and began producing a shit ton of roaches. Now, these roaches I also evolved into Ravagers, because Ravagers are kind of essential against Terran when you want to crack their defenses, because without the corrosive vials, their defenses are essentially, well, much scarier in the sense that they can basically utilize their siege tanks to completely obliterate me. And I'm getting pretty good at knowing where Terran usually place siege tanks in this map. So, yeah, I'm making this army here. I don't know, what do I have for units anyway? I have, what is this? 9 roaches and 12 ravagers, and 16 zerglings. I think I should have had a bit more roaches, because they're the tanks in this. Like, ravagers are squishy compared to roaches, because ravagers are not armored, right? Because ravagers have no armor, whereas roaches already have armor. I mean, they had the +1 armor or whatever, but roaches by default, I thought they by default had armor. Nah, they're armored units. Well, I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to this base here, and I think I lost a fair bit of zerglings. 1 zergling? I don't know. What was my units lost here? Yeah, okay, so active forces. Yeah. Oh, I wish there was one here that's clear. Anyway, units lost. Yeah, so I've already lost more units than them. And I came to this. Hey, pause. Ooh, look at that corrosive bile landing. Anyway, I wanted to pause because I wanted to show you something that I mentioned earlier. Okay, so this planetary fortress that I said they built earlier and weren't doing anything, clearly they aren't doing anything. But the important part is that, can you tell that's a planetary fortress? I mean, I guess if you zoom in this far, you can see the little pew-pews, but essentially, it doesn't look much different. So anyway, I sent my guys in, destroyed their 1 sensor tower, and I'm like, okay, goodbye, planetary fortress. So this is the thing. I know that there is a tank here. Why? Because I always put one here. Wow, David, look at that bad micromanagement. Oh, Ravager fell off the cliff. His guts flew off the cliff. Yeah, so anywho, I am down to, what is this? 8 Ravagers and 28 Roaches. Okay, so I have a lot of Roaches now. I think I need to evolve some more Ravagers, but anywho, I destroyed that thing, so I know they're on 2 bases only at this point. What I never realized was that they were building battle cruisers. Apparently 4, but where are they targeting them? To there. And where's this one going? Nowhere. Anyway, they really are going mass battlecruiser, apparently. They're like, oh my god, he has roaches, let's go bonkers with the battlecruisers. And he's even researching Yamato gun. So basically, I don't know why I sat there so long. I should have pushed in, because unfortunately, I took so long that they get the battlecruisers out. And that kind of made this map a lot worse. Literally, I don't know why I sat there. I could have pushed completely through here. They have what? 3 tanks, 8 Marines, that's not threatening. These battlecruisers, massive investment on their part, and I'm just sitting there letting them finish them. So anywho, I can push through here rather well. I don't know where to put the Ravagers to hit the tanks properly. Like, look at all the damage I'm allowing them to do with their tanks. Anyway, 1 battlecruiser finished, and 2 battlecruisers finished. And I'm like, oh shit. So I believe in response to that, I dropped down a... I'm not doing very well managing my base, eh? Look at my production tab. Production tab. Zerglings, for some reason. I'm clearly just microing it. Not microing. I'm clearly just, like, basically not looking at my base and building these things. But anywho, yeah, so I destroyed that thing. I really need a way to respond to these bloody battlecruisers, though. Come on, guys. Oof. Oof. Okay, I did take out 2 of their bases, so I think at that point it's not horribly bad. But I don't know why my response to these massive ships was to build more roaches and zerglings. I think it would have been safer to instantly go to the Hydralisk Den, which I have built now. So I know, and I think yeah, that's gonna happen. All 4 on my main base. And now I'm like, fuck. They have battlecruisers. Oh, I never realized that you mono-gun that thing, yeah. So, I don't know what my idea was here, but anywho, I'm like, okay, well, they're attacking my main base, let me attack them. And these battlecruisers I let sit around way too long. But, Hydralisk Den's done, and I believe, if I look at my production, not yet. I should have produced some... I need to spend these minerals faster, anyway. I'm still producing Hydralisk. I'm also completely and utterly eradicating the base. They're not supply blocked yet, but they're pretty damn close. There goes their tanks. Factory's gone. But, if you want to look at my base, oh, they didn't destroy my hive yet. Oh, I guess they're focusing on the mineral line. Well, there goes 1 hatchery. Little broodlings are like, what do I attack? There's nothing, it's in the air. Okay, what? Did I lose all 3 of those Hydralisks? Apparently I'm a fucking idiot. Yeah. Yeah, now they have 5 battlecruisers, and... Okay, so here's what they did. I'm in their main base, right? I'm in their base. And they're sending, like, all their ships to lift off. Which I didn't think much about at first. In retrospect, I should have chased them down. Why? Well, first I was trying to deal with this shit, but the reason I should have chased them down is because this is the reason the game lasted for another 5 minutes. I sent my dudes over here, and I had already built, or tried to build another base here. I still have this one. The battlecruisers are basically trying to go through and eradicate me. Look at that, I'm gonna go up there. They're basically trying to take their battlecruisers into space right now. How many bases can we kill before the opponent kills all ours? So I'm sending my Hydralisks in. I don't think I have a Hydralisk Den anymore though, so I can't do anything with them. But they're using these. So anywho, the Terran did this thing, which was actually kind of brilliant in retrospect. They basically took their structures and hid them in the corners. So me, I'm like, well, I guess I have to destroy everything of theirs to win? And I should have realized sooner that it was going to be this way, but I didn't. So the Terran's literally systematically going through and destroying all my hatcheries. My everything. He's just basically clicking attack. He's like, Zerg can't do anything about this. And I'm like, I think this is the point I realized I need to attack or else I'm screwed. So I basically, with my huge amount of resources, built hives everywhere, or hatcheries. And went in, what am I doing? Oh my god! Attack, you imbeciles. Yeah, I could have won a lot sooner if I hadn't just sat them here. I'm not sure what I was doing, to be honest. It's 30 seconds of me doing nothing. I definitely should have done something. But anyway, now I see why I am only Silver League. I'm not very good. But anywho, spawn these buildings again. So I have 2 spawning pools on the production tab, because basically without a spawning pool I'm kind of in a bad situation. Command center is being built in a stupid spot. But anyway, I finally did end up clearing their main base out. And I have a huge army. I actually have a lot more army supply than him, and the ability to build a lot more army supply than him. My big problem is that these things are in the air. They fly. And guess what? I don't have anything that flies. That would have been much cleverer if you had zipped them all to different places on the map. But no, you put them all in the same spot, I guess, trying to find this. Yep, there you go, you discovered my base! I should have let these finish, maybe, but anyway. At this point I realized I need to just kill all his structures. And I already realized that, that's why I cleared out the main base. The problem is, he still has a command center. And the default win condition, I guess, for StarCraft is destroy all the enemy structures. So, with a lot of these bronze players, you know their approach is going to be this. Destroy all the enemy structures. They are not going to do anything but hide their structures in the corner where I don't have any air things and can't hit them. And wait for me to destroy them. What did I do? Well, my Hydralisk can kind of hit them, but he's literally trying to push them as far in the corner as he can. So I'm like, well, you're still in range of my corrosive biles, so as long as I can destroy these buildings before you destroy everything I own, we're great. And amusingly, I think he's up here trying to deal with this. Well, and while also hiding his ships as far in the corner as he can. So I'm just basically waiting for my corrosive biles to regenerate and then corrosive biling things. He's down to 2 struct. I think it's 2. Oh, come on, get out of the way. Well, yeah, he's down to 2 structures. And I have all these guys. Unfortunately, he still has these battle cruisers, and I have no hide. I mean, he's probably sitting there like, why has he not been revealed? And I'm just like, well, because I keep on putting up hatcheries. And that's all you need to do to win. Like, all I need to do to win is keep on spending my resources on structures. Which, if he hadn't lost all his SCVs, he could have done as well. Fortunately, he lost all his SCVs. So, yeah. And I'm just sitting here slowly corrosive biling. I don't know why I'm like corrosive biling away his stuff. And the thing is, these will die at some point. However, once he clears my base, he's like, I win! Wait, he has more structures again? So now he goes and looks for them all with these battle cruisers. And it's like, well, I built them back where they already were. Anywho, I am sitting here corrosive biling away his things. And I believe his command center is burning right now, so he's screwed. And the problem is, right now I'm like, oh no, he's sending in his battle cruisers. So, I have Hydralisks who actually have +2 missile upgrade, I believe. So they're doing a fair bit of damage compared to actually do significantly more damage than the battle cruisers. So I can take care of them pretty quickly. No, I don't have anything. I only have any Hydralisks left. Yeah. So, I destroyed his 1 battle cruiser. He had this left. He left the game. I win. Now, I played really, really bad here. And partly because he did the stupid battlecruiser thing, and this is why I have a really hard time against Terran. I don't know what to do against these ships. If they come out of nowhere and I'm in Roach Ravager, what do I do? I mean, I guess I could do what I could push into his base. Most people would have GG'd at that point. This guy, no. What's he do? He sends, I mean, first of all, if I had macro better, I could have accomplished more, I think. The problem is, I didn't, so I'm not like super advanced in this game either. But this battle cruiser, these 6, how many do you have? Like, oh yeah, well, first of all, look how many units I lost compared to him. I still lost a huge amount more than him. But I'm just not good, apparently, at micromanaging, or macro and micromanaging. I can do a little bit of macro. I'm a bit good at macro, depending on my mood. But, like, this shouldn't have been... I should have been able to beat him earlier. If I had pushed him when that army was here, before the battle cruisers were done, it would have been GG way back then. Instead, I allowed him to get 6 battle cruisers out, and Then I had to chase down his structures. I really don't like that Terran can lift off their structures. I guess it's a Terran gimmick or whatever. I guess it makes sense. Terran always have been able to, and it kind of is what's unique to them. But hiding your structures in a corner where where no one can barely reach them, I would have had to build a hive. Not a hive, for heaven's sakes. I would have had to build a lair, which I had before it was destroyed. Go up to a spire and send out like Mutalisks or Corruptors to destroy this, which would have also, mind you, taken care of the battlecruisers. But I didn't have that. I basically had this army and nothing else. And all my attention was going towards basically rebuilding command centers so that I didn't lose. So anyway, that was a very interesting match. I definitely didn't do very well. I won, but it also emphasizes why I really have a hard time playing against Bronze League people, because they do things that I can't. They don't play StarCraft in the way I expect. I spend a lot of time watching professional StarCraft players, and I never expect them. Like, professional StarCraft players wouldn't do whatever this person did. So trying to figure out what this Bronze League player is doing is confusing me. And it always does. If I'm playing against somebody in even Silver League, I kind of expect, or whatever league, I don't know, even Silver League sometimes wonky, but I kind of expect, okay, you're going to send in, what are you going to do? Well, there should be perhaps a Reaper coming into my base. And then you'll be sending in a couple waves of, or one wave at least, of Hellbats. And trying to burn my mineral people and kind of keep me on a few bases. And then you're going to send in, I don't know, there might then be a battlecruiser opening, or maybe you just not send the Hellbats and send the battlecruiser in. I don't really understand how the Terran build order works, but regardless, you're going to be, there's a certain sequence of things I expect. With Protoss, I expect that they're probably going to choose one of two strategies, some sort of all-in cannon rush, which transitions to nothing, like I saw in one of my previous matches. I actually have a video of that, I guess I can quickly show. All-in cannon rush. This is this one, lasted 2 minutes. This is, so either this, or like some sort of normal macro style game where they tend to be more interesting, although a bit longer, where they, I don't know, maybe they an oracle in to harass, or a, what is that other unit they make? Jeez. Adept. Wow, I'm really brain dead today. But anyway, so I start off here again trying to start the game normally. However, I missed the Overlord timing because I was way overzealous with my drones, so I built the Overlord on 14. And I don't know what this Protoss did. I never actually looked at it. So in the cave, they built a pylon. They haven't built any drones. I mean, probes. Okay, and they sent a probe right to my base to build a pylon at the bottom of my ramp. And because if you look at this 17, this is basically the exact timing where I'd usually go build a hatchery. My second hatchery. So before my Overlord Scouts even gets halfway across the map, or I get my hatchery done, I see, shoot! This dude is building a pylon, and it was basically finished. This is a very fast timing for a pylon. So I send my little drones down, my drones, right, to attack it. Look at them. They look kind of like crabs. I never looked at them before. They're like weird aquatic swimmy crabs. I mean, I guess all crabs are aquatic. But anywho, and in his main base, he's like, okay, well, I have a forge now, so I can build a pylon and a photon cannon. And this is when it gets scary. Pylon I can deal with. I can just kill the pylon. The problem is, this probe is building the... And I don't know what the proper approach is here. Maybe it's chase down the probe. I don't know. The issue is that when this happens, I'm basically in a panic mode situation. I'm like, okay, well, I need to build a spawning pool to extend my creep. Well, what do? I put the spawning pool in the range of fire of the photon cannon because I'm an idiot. So by the time, and then I'm like, oh no, there's more, and I'm panicking. I'm like sitting here, what the hell do I do? I'm not doing anything. I'm like, okay, well, build me another. I was gonna build a spawning pool to take care of this, and instead I moved it. Anyway, at this point, he has what? Just a forge? Yeah, and I quit because I hate this. This is an all-in photon cannon rush. Like, I don't know if he could even realistically transition to anything. But also, if I had managed to destroy this, I could have, with my minerals, probably done something to attack him. But 17 completely missed the time. Like, at this point, no, I should already have a spawning pool, and the second hatchery should be down and mining. But no, what happens? Well, he has a photon cannon here and here, and I assume this is 2 more coming in here, and I assume, yeah, he's probably going to go back here to build even more. Well, that puts me in this really awkward situation, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it when Protoss use this cheese, because it's really just... I don't know how the hell to respond to this. I don't know if there is a way to properly respond to this. I mean, I guess the proper way would be to sit back in your base and get a queen up and some roaches out, but he's up my ramp. Like, I don't know. I don't know what you do to that. All I know is it's basically like, I never would have expected it that fast. Like, that was really fast. I mean, I guess this is what, Evergreen, sorry? Yeah, but I didn't expect it that fast. Anyway, so that's one of the 2 types of openings that Protoss do. That was an all-in cannon rush, which I apparently don't know how to deal with. I've got pretty good at dealing with the normal cannon rushes, but I never expect them to be, well, that fast and aggressive. Like, up the ramp, I literally, yeah, I don't think I could have done anything to respond to that. That was really well done on their part. But anyway, so, and the other thing is more macro game, or, like a match I had the other day, an all-in Void Ray. How the hell do you deal with an all-in Void Ray? I guess all-in Hydralisks? I don't know. Basically, I think how you deal with it is you don't let it happen. I should have scouted beforehand, realized he was doing some strange all-in Void Ray thing, and stopped it. I'm Zerg. I can build a lot more units at once than he can, but I didn't notice. So, and the problem is, by that point, because Zerg doesn't have really strong anti-air, if I haven't built anything to deal with the air damage, I'm screwed. So anyway, I guess that's that for now. Look at Kerrigan. Isn't she sexy? I don't know. I think she is. But, I mean, look at Zagara. She is so much more epic. She even has, like, Kerrigan-type hair. I guess that's probably what queens have. Oh, yeah. Maybe that's what queens have. Like, this epic type of hair. I don't know. Arbiter is not... I don't even know what he is. I mean... Yeah, he's not a queen. He's some sort of other thing. And, yeah. But anywho, maybe I should try out some of these other commanders at some point. But anywho, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching. This is going to be the first kind of weird-ass video I post. And if you look at the top left-hand corner, you do, like, up here, you see this, like, random static photo of me? Well, that's there only because I don't have a webcam yet. Once I get a webcam, you'll see my pretty, well... my face, anyway. We'll let you decide if it's pretty up there. So, anyway, thanks you all for listening, and join me whenever I post another video between me and, well, I'll be playing a Zerg, and hopefully against somebody else, who's not these cheesy Protoss people. So anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, and love you guys. Bye, kiddos.